Welcome to your 12-minute HR lesson. Today, we're talking about one of my favorite rules. This is something to keep in the back of your head. This is a little pearl of wisdom that should guide you to being wiser, not reactionary. Curious to see how Hanlon's razor can help you? Let's go. If you look at my bio, you'll notice I have a little bit of interest in health and safety. I'm a little bit hesitant to put myself on any type of health and safety pedestal because there's a lot of people who know a lot more than me, and I'm hesitant to put myself out there with having any great level of expertise. I have a real imposter syndrome going on and much to be humble about, as they say. One of the interesting things that comes up in health and safety is investigation. One of the interesting areas in which people like to talk and think about is post-disaster analysis. What on earth happened there? Something terrible, something catastrophic happened. Let's do an investigation into what happened. And it's something that you do get in health and safety we can really learn from. And there's lots of different examples like this. There's the Challenger disaster. There's railway disasters. There's air traffic control cock-ups. There's Pike River in New Zealand. There's so many examples where really bad things happened. Lots of people lost their lives. So lots of time and effort was put into what on earth just happened here. Almost inevitably, in any form of investigation, you can dig and uncover and do root cause analysis and find out lots of different reasons. But inevitably you come back to the same question. Who screwed up and why did they screw up? If things were right, then we shouldn't have had this disaster, should we? Or if this disaster was foreseeable and there are people who are supposed to look for this sort of thing, why did they not see it? We are not a tree in the forest where it's just purely nature. There is no system, no control. Things fall over, things happen. No, we have systems and processes in place to either stop that happening or look for that thing before it happened. So if something happened, someone screwed up. Now that may sound overly simplistic, but this is where we get complex. And this is the question of, okay, if someone screwed up, why? Why did someone make that error? And that's where things get interesting. The question of why do people make mistakes? Why do people do the wrong thing?
Quick interruption here for an ad for our services. Pragmatic HRM is an HR training organization. These podcasts are essentially just morsels, tasters, samples of what we can do for you, how we can help you think better as an HR professional. To give an example, one of our training courses is how to deal with complex people problems. Simple problems are easy to deal with. Complicated problems, that needs new ways of thinking, and we help you with that. Most of our HR training is through our webinars. If you go to our website, pragmatichrm.nz, you can find all of the webinars that we offer in the HR and ER space. There are two ways in which you can access these webinars. One is you can join an online live webinar session, but alternatively, if those are too far away, you can also watch a recorded on-demand session for a lower price. Have a look at our website, pragmatichrm.nz, for how we can upskill you.
This is a question that we deal with in HR and in ER all the time. Someone has done a wrong thing. Their actions or their choices or their behavior is outside of what the right thing to do is. So they are running contrary to what ought to be happening in that situation. So the question is, why? And this is where I want to talk to you about Hanlon's razor. Now, quick backstory. I first heard about Hanlon's razor on QI. And if you don't know QI, you should probably watch QI. It's really interesting. Quite interesting, to be specific. And Hanlon's razor goes like this. A razor is a rule of thumb. It's a guidance. It's something that says, this is a good way of looking at things most of the time. You've probably heard of Occam's razor. Occam's razor is a guideline. It says, try to look at things this way in the first instance. And Hanlon's razor goes like this. Never attribute to malice can be adequately explained by stupidity. Let's go through that again. Never attribute to malice what can be adequately explained with stupidity. To put another way, cock up before conspiracy. Dumbass before intent. Thoughtlessness before malicious thought. In short, if we're going to guess or assume or anticipate why people have made mistakes, why they have gone outside of what ought to be happening here, your first instinct will be to assume intent. Hanlon says, hold on there, stop there. First ask the question, was it thoughtlessness? Was it not paying attention? Was it being distracted? Was it, to put it simply, being stupid? Were they being stupid rather than intentional? Is it by accident rather than by intent that this person has made this mistake? If the decision or the bad behavior or the error that was made can probably be explained by stupidity, thoughtlessness, not paying attention, all of those things, that's your first port of call. That's your underlying assumption. That is your assumption that we put in until we really understand why. Why do we even need to have this? Because it's very easy to go the other way around. It's very easy to assume people are cognizant of their choices. People do things on purpose rather than by accident. It's that assumption that this razor gets us to challenge. Right, so rubber hits the road. Let's give you a takeaway. Let's give you this little nugget. This one should be reasonably straightforward. This one really should speak for itself. When we are trying to understand people's behavior, or they are explaining their behavior to us, this is a really, really wise rule to keep in the back of your head. If you're trying to understand why people do it, why people are doing what they want to do, now this could be disciplinary, this could be performance, this could be team behavior. Don't leap to the assumption, don't leap to the thinking that people do things on purpose with malice. Secondly, also do the same thing for other people, discussing and analyzing and contemplating, why do we have this thing going on over here? Why are they doing things that they really shouldn't be doing, or that are destructive to themselves or destructive to others or contrary to what we're trying to achieve here? Start off, don't leap to the assumption that this is intentional. Start with the assumption that is accidental. Now that assumption could be proven wrong, but it's much smarter to go the other way. It's much wiser to go, people are idiots, rather than people are evil. So I need to give you an example here, and I'm going to give you a very mundane example. Let's talk about performance. Let's talk about people not doing a job well. If someone isn't doing something that they should do, or they're not putting enough effort, or they're deprioritizing it such that the standards just aren't being met, you're probably assuming they know what they should be doing and they are choosing not to do it. This outcome is intentional. But most likely, that person, if they'd known it was really important, if they'd known that not doing it was serious, it's more likely they just don't know. It's more likely they hadn't thought about it. They hadn't realised. They had prioritised differently. They thought no one really pays that much attention, or I've done that to probably a good enough standard, or close enough is near enough. And they just go on to do something they would prefer to do, not really knowing or not really realising that what they have done is substandard, or what they are doing is substandard, or that they are missing things. Most likely, it's thoughtlessness, or lack of attention, or lack of knowledge, or accidental judgment that leads to gaps in performance. Not intention, not malice, not by design. No one comes to work to not do their job in full by design. So now I need to give you some advanced stuff, because this is a razor, this is a rule of thumb. It doesn't apply in all situations all the time. And I can hear my health and safety colleagues gnashing their teeth at me from afar, from the future. So I need to be really clear. Where things fall over, if we're looking at workplace accidents, stupidity is too simple an answer. It's too much of a cop-out to go, oh, that person, they're an idiot. They didn't think it through. It's their fault, not our fault. That's an excuse you can't tolerate. That becomes a crutch that just allows you to turn a blind eye to ongoing accidents, ongoing problems. If you are talking health and safety, you need to take that option off the shelf. You need to ask yourself, it's not that they weren't paying attention because they're just not smart people. You need to ask yourself, what were they paying attention to instead of? What was being incorrectly prioritized over being safe? People make shortcuts, but why are they making shortcuts? People are taking dumb risks, but why are they taking dumb risks? Do not ever apply Hanlon's razor to safety questions. Thank you. This is one of my favourite rules of thumb that I like to bring up, but funnily enough, it's hard to bring up. It's quite a big picture idea. It's not easy to slip into conversation. But any time I have the opportunity, I bring it up because I really want people to think these ways. I do see this all the time, that people get frustrated or take it personally when people are making mistakes or they're doing things that shouldn't be happening. It's too easy for people to take it personally as an affront. So to say, hey, look, they just probably didn't really think about it, or they haven't really understood it, just takes the heat out of the situation. Anyway, thank you for listening. We have all sorts of courses. We have all sorts of services. Please go have a look at our website, pragmatichrm.nz. If you think we are the type of people that can help you, if you think that you can learn more from us, if you think that we could really help you by rolling up our sleeves and getting involved in your workplace. If not, not a problem. Please just pass us around the internet, like, repost, all of that metric driving stuff so that other people can listen in and other people can learn for free. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Thanks.